All right, I don't have the tripod set up. Well, I gotta get that figured out. I just gotta put a little clip piece thing on it. So I'm just holding you guys right now. Hopefully I'm not too shaky. I know I disappeared for longer than a couple weeks this time. It's going on like what, 2 months. And you know, I hate that I did that, and I hate that I keep doing that. But it's just, it is what it is, man. There's I have a lot on my plate, and maybe I should have thought of that before starting a channel. But I've talked about this before, but bodybuilding on its own is a full-time endeavor, and then I'm working full-time and taking care of a family. There's things that have to take priority. So that's what happened. On top of that, I was again dealing with some mental health stuff, and that's something that's getting better as well, but it is what it is. Anyways, let's not dwell on me disappearing. I'm back, at least for right now. I never stopped lifting, of course. That's the thing. I had to pick one thing that had to go, and the channel was it. Obviously lifting wasn't going to, I'm never going to let lifting go to the wayside. So if you guys, you know, follow my Instagram and stuff, you've seen that, you know, I've still been going to the gym. So what's been going on with that? I've noticed a pattern in my lifting career. I've talked about this before, but when I started, I was one of the team no days off guys. I did 7 days a week for like 2 to 3 hours. It was just absolute overkill. And I did that until it didn't work anymore and I wasn't recovering. So then I dropped down to 6 days a week, and I ran that as long as I could. Started making progress again with 6 days a week until I didn't. I started hitting plateaus and started kind of going backwards, dropped down to 5 days a week. Ran that as long as I could, and eventually hit a point with that again where that was too much to recover from. And the reason being is I really have focused on intensifiers, you know, rest, pause, drop sets, going to pass failure with you know, on unilateral movements. I put in all these intensifiers, and the thing is, the more intensely you train, the less you can train and still recover, even with PEDs. So I dropped down to a 4-day split and immediately started progressing again. I feel like I'm growing again. I mean, you know, it's a little early to tell, but I'm absolutely recovering better and hitting PRs every lift. I'm doing a Dorian Yates copycat split right now, so I figured, you know, Dorian's a badass motherfucker. He knew what he's doing, so let's try out his shit for a little bit. Worst that's going to happen is it won't be beneficial, but I'm not going to get smaller, you know what I mean? And so far it seems like it has been beneficial, so I've been enjoying that. It's been working out better for my schedule too, and I'm able to handle other stressful things a little better now that I'm not constantly redlined in a fight or flight state. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here for a minute and update you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be filming in the gym today. I am about to go hit chest. I may kind of ease my way back into it again. I might just pull out my phone and kind of talk to you guys here and there after a set. And then there's a couple things going on. You know, the tripod, like I said, I got to get that set back up. The GoPro clip thing was missing. You know, it's just kind of goofy to like hold a phone up in the gym, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll get back to it, but I'll probably talk to you guys in the car and you know, pop on here afterwards and update you guys on how the lift went if I don't film in there. But listen, I appreciate you guys. Any of you that are still hanging around, waiting on my ass to get my shit together and pop back up here on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm gonna hop off here and go hit chest. Catch you guys in a little bit. Boy.
And then you can kill all the creatures you want.
Alright, again with the front-facing camera video. It's not as good as my previous editing, but as you saw, here I am. I didn't film in the gym. Whatever. We'll get back to it, okay? I just wanted to talk to you guys. I gotta get used to doing this again. It is what it is, right? But just something cool we did the other day. Me and my wife went to this little record shop, and we're walking around, and I found this Ramon shirt, and it was $10. The sleeves were still attached. They lasted a whole day, which is kind of a joke in this house, that any shirt I get, the sleeves, they have a short lifespan. But anyways, that's not the main thing I wanted to show you guys. As I've talked about before, Doyle, Wolfgang von Frankenstein of the Misfits, is a huge inspiration to me. And as I was paying for this shirt, I actually completed the transaction, my wife pointed at the display glass, and I don't know how I didn't see this. There was a Crimson Ghost mask, like one of the nicer latex, like rubber latex ones. I have one of the cheaper plastic ones, and then I have this, which, you know, I made. But anyways, she pointed down, and I don't know how I didn't see this. They had a signed copy, and it's an advanced copy, I'm assuming, a pre-release for like his fan club or whatever. But it's a Abominator record of Doyle signed, which is huge for me. And yeah, it's in perfect condition, and I was pretty fucking stoked to find that. But yeah, I just thought I would show that to you guys. I gotta get used to talking in front of the camera again. I thought I was getting pretty good at it. Maybe not so much now, but we'll get back there, okay? You know, I don't... What I feel like is going to happen here is I'm not going to make any promises on an upload schedule. That's what I originally said, and I don't know why I got it in my head. I started putting pressure on myself that I had to post a video however many times a week, right? And it just kind of, that's not possible with my schedule. But I can shoot for, you know what? No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to post when I post, okay? And I got to get the pressure off of this and make it fun again. I don't want any pressure with this. I just want it to be, as I originally said, us just kind of hanging out. I get to talk about the shit I love, metal, horror, lifting, and hopefully something I say about lifting can help one of you guys. So I'm going to cut this together and we're going to get this up, and I'm probably going to throw a bunch of my reels from the past like month or whatever in here, and we're going to call this a video and we're going to start again. And I appreciate those of you that are still willing to watch my shit. I know I'm kind of been flaky as far as my consistency of uploading, we'll say. My consistency of uploading is not on par with my lifting consistency, we'll say that. But alright, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Just going to do some warm-ups. Kind of forgot I have my mic on. We'll just leave it. Forget I don't have to stop because I got this mask on now. I haven't got a lot of use out of this thing yet. I'm not quite used to it. But I can breathe better in it. Already starting to get a pump going. Just done a warm-up set, basically. So I was watching I watch a lot of Dr. Todd Lee on YouTube, and he was talking about something, kind of validated a conclusion I had come to myself. I haven't done flat bench in like almost 2 years. I've hopped on it once or twice with a buddy in that time just to see where I was, but yeah, flat bench is, in my opinion, if you're just doing maxes on flat bench, all you're doing is stroking your ego and setting yourself up for a shoulder injury. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's really not an optimal movement. You're really getting a lot of front delt, and it's where people fuck themselves up. I much prefer dumbbells at an incline and this hammer strength machine. Then, of course, cable flies and pec deck. I of course, do dips, and I do kneeling landmine press, but those are kind of fluff movements. Or dips aren't, but I don't know. They're just kind of little finishers that they're not going to be your main growth movements. But I don't know, man. I occasionally I'll feel kind of get imposter syndrome because here I have started a channel as if I know everything about lifting, and I do not. I absolutely do not. My form is shit on a lot of stuff. I'm learning just like everybody else is, and I have not been lifting long enough to fucking act like I'm an expert. So, anything I say, take with a grain of salt, because you know I'm still figuring this shit out, just like you guys are. You know, a lot of you guys probably know more than I do, so I'm under no illusion that I'm some sort of fucking genius with this shit, because I'm not. I just know what has worked for me so far. But all right, I'm gonna stop fucking flapping my lips. I lowered this a little bit. I kind of mess around with the placement of the seat, but again, as he was talking about in that video, he was saying if you take, you know, and I'm just repeating what he said, so, and you know, I'm not acting like this is my knowledge, but it does bear repeating. Talking about with dumbbells and different angles and stuff for chest, he was saying squeeze your chest and take your arms out in front of you and move them through a plane of motion, and find where you feel your chest squeezing the most without your front delts being activated, and that's your sweet spot for training chest. So mine's about here, and so that's another reason why flat bench isn't necessarily the best, because a lot of front delt, eventually you're going to fuck your shoulder up. So that's why, I mean, I hear that from a lot of bodybuilders. They don't even bother with flat bench, and it was just kind of cool that I came to that same conclusion, and then to hear somebody I follow and respect validate that is just kind of cool. But, and again, nothing is right, 100% right or 100% wrong. I feel like everybody's different and different things work for everybody, but there are some commonalities across the board. But anyway, let's finish this set, and then we're gonna hop over on dumbbells. Digging the lighting over here. All right, yeah, I do these. I've talked about them in other videos, but these are a barrel press. It's kind of a combination between a fly and a press, but you can use a heavier weight than you would if you were doing a dumbbell fly. It's more of a fly on the eccentric and more of a press on the concentric. So I usually do these depending on how I'm feeling that day, between like well, when I was on a certain compound I was hitting up to the 90s, but right now we're at about anywhere from the 65s to the 80s, 85s. But yeah, usually just really try to get everything out of these reps, and I do about 2 to 3 sets of them and then move on to my fly stuff. But yeah, we're gonna do it. Start off with 75s. So we already warmed up. So again, with the me disappearing thing, a lot of times, and I've said this also before, but a lot of times I am on a very limited time crunch to get in here. My lists are usually around an hour, sometimes as little as 45 minutes. At max, maybe hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes. So coming in and setting up a tripod and trying to get the angles right and all that shit kind of slows me down. And when I got to get to work right after the gym, I still got to have time to get home and shower and run to get the kids food and stuff. It kind of makes it hard to bother with making a video. And again, I should have thought of that before starting the channel. But the way I kind of move my split around a little bit, it's a little harder on me physically because I'm now hitting 3 of the 4 lifts on the weekend back to back. Whereas before I was getting like a rest day every other day or something. Like it's split out pretty evenly with the rest days on a 4-day-a-week split. But I pushed them all to most of them except for legs to the weekend. So hopefully, with me not having to get to work right after lifting, that might make it more likely that I'll feel like I can come set up a tripod. But yeah, guys, I don't mean to disappear and pop in like that. I'm like that with people I know in person. They get fed up with it. I haven't opened barely any DMs in like 2 months. I just go into this hermit mode where if I've got too much shit going on in my life, I have to cut out anything that's non-essential in order to get everything done. And as I've talked about before, I'm pretty sure I haven't been actually diagnosed, but everyone knows I'm neurodivergent. So I get overwhelmed sometimes with all the people that want to ask me questions or advice or just talk to me, say show support and stuff. And I appreciate all of that, but it's a lot of times, man, it's just too much for me to even look at without feeling overwhelmed, just because there's already a lot of overwhelming things going on in my life as it is. So it's just the way I kind of handle it. Every now and then I need to cut everybody out. So I believe I might actually have the fucking gym to myself right now, which is bizarre. I'm not used to that. But let's see if I can better angle. Let's go ahead and do another one or two of these, and we'll hop over on cables. I think we'll probably do some pec deck in between, maybe superset it. I don't know. We'll find out. But listen, I appreciate you guys that have stuck around and waited. I doubt any of you were anticipating, like, sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for my next fucking video. I highly doubt that, but I appreciate the ones that have stuck around and still give a shit enough to watch. I'm trying to get better with this stuff. We'll see how it works out, right? All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. All right, I think I'm gonna drop down to like 65s. Here's something I was thinking about the other day. Is there anybody else that has built, at least a decent amount of muscle, not know how to fucking carry themselves? I feel awkward as fuck 9 times out of 10 walking around because I don't know what to do with my arms. They feel like they're, I don't know, in an awkward position. I don't know. I I don't know. Maybe somebody else can tell me. I don't know how to fucking hold my body. as I'm walking around, just in general. I always feel like I'm like, I can't straighten my arms out all the way or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking shit like I always do, but any of you guys have that issue? it's awkward. I don't know. Well, I'm getting distracted. See, this is why another reason I have an issue with filming content is I get distracted easily. Same reason I shut my phone into fitness mode where nobody can fucking text me except for my wife or the school while I'm here. Oh, this is going to be an interesting move. Got to put the headphones on. All right, well, the microphone died, of course, and it kind of really pisses me off because I kind of got into the groove of talking throughout this video, and I thought I had some good shit to talk about, but I guess it's all gone. But anyways, whatever, we'll just make do with what we got. I'm going to just do a voiceover for the rest of this. But, yeah. Now I'm not in the groove. It is like, I don't know, 9 hours later or something. I don't know why I do this. Every time I finish a set, I have to like take a big stompy lap in my big stupid boots in a like 15-foot circle. I don't know. It's just, I don't do it as bad like that when there's a bunch of people in the gym like that big around. I just kind of circle my bench, but it's just, I think a lot of people do stuff like that, but I cannot help but do it. See, here I'm clearly talking about something, but it is gone to the void. I think I'm explaining probably something to the effect that I'm about to do cable flies, and that I do low to high variation and high to low in reverse order. But I used to do set after set after set, and it's just not, I was just, after a while, just fucking my joints up, I think. Anyways, so now I do like 2 sets, and I really, as you see, I try to do pretty slow eccentrics, and even my concentrics are slower than a lot of people I see. I just really try to milk everything out of the reps that I do. So for the high to low, I do, I believe, 60 pounds. And I do them kneeling. Sometimes I do them standing, but that's what I'm talking about, intra-workout carbs. Because these past 2 months, I discovered the power of bringing gummy bears or something like that to kind of quickly restore your glycogen stores. And it really does make a difference, I'm telling you. At least it does for me. Oh my God, stay on topic. Again, we're going to try to describe this. I do them with like 60 pounds. I'm going to try to do slow reps. I used to do, back when I first started and I was out in the garage,
I had this thing rigged up on the rafters of the garage that was like 4 resistance bands. And I would set my bench at an incline and lay against it and do a movement like this. And I actually think, because those popped up after I started doing those, I have these giant veins that go across my titties. And they came from, I swear they do, maybe it's, you know, I know everybody's going to say, oh no, that's the gear. And that does do that. But those veins came before I was on gear. And I was doing a movement like this. I started doing them, and then all of a sudden I had these giant veins across my chest. But, so those translated to the cables, of course, once I started going to this gym. And then I also do the low to highs, and I do those a little lighter. This stack, as I've said many times before, is weird. And I can't think of what it is. It's very close to 40 pounds. It's like 30 something, 37. I don't know. I'd have to go look at it. Again, half the time when I'm in the gym, I'm either lifting or I'm like blurry visioned, kind of stomping around in between sets with music. So, and before anyone goes ahead and is a dick in the comments, I'll beat them to it. I know my legs suck. I know I am very top heavy. Those of you that have watched my channel know that I have a lot of issues with my back. I'm not some 20-year-old. And it seems like every time, alright, let me start from the beginning. I fucked up and didn't train. I skipped legs all the fucking time the first couple of years. So then I started training them seriously, and I started making some pretty good gains. Still not quite, I never caught them up to my upper body, but I was starting to get kind of proud of them. You know, they were getting thick, and my legs are actually pretty thick in person. If you were to cut me in half, you know, it's just my upper body's a lot thicker. So every time I've tried to train my legs, I end up fucking up my lower back. And that was initially caused from ego lifting on leg press with the form of a cocktail shrimp. And yeah, I have like really bad sciatica to the point that it was keeping me awake, and it heals up and I start training legs again and something happens. It always happens. And I'll start making a little bit of progress and I fucking hurt myself. So I'm trying to catch my legs up, man. It's just, I got to do it without injuring myself. And, you know, all this way into this, I still don't have a fucking lifting belt. You would think I would, but I don't. I need to just go ahead and get one, and maybe that will help me out a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, man, I know my legs suck. I'm trying to catch them up. I know I'm very top heavy. It's a little more apparent when I wear tighter fitting shorts like that. Even though those are Dickies, they're it just kind of shows, like, because I'm not wearing my big giant pants. It's a little more obvious. But you know, there's always going to be someone that's going to come say something about it, so I beat you to it. But listen, I know, like, I'm not under any, you know, I post my physique, but I don't think that I'm like hot shit. You know, I've talked about this before. I am proud of what I've done, and that's the difference. You know, yes, I flex, I take pictures, whatever.
But that's because I used to be fat, and I am very fucking proud of what I have done. But there's always going to be somebody that's got to come try to shit on what you're doing. And that's, I see it all the time. People doing it to other people, to stop skipping legs. Yeah, I fucking know. I'm not trying to skip legs. It's just, it's very difficult with with back issues. And because I skipped them for so long, so I'm not as strong there. And that kind of, well, no, I can't say that because, the people that have trained legs with me, like, they don't lift what I lift, so I don't know, but I don't know, man. This thing, I can't squat. I literally cannot fucking squat anymore. I used to. And my buddy tried to give me proper form on that, and he's like, dude, I give up. Your body is just fucking, I don't know if you got a long torso or what it is, but your body does not want to squat. So I've been doing hack squats and leg press and with proper form this time. I lock my fucking ass down in that seat, and I do extensions and hamstring curls, and I train calves. All right, I continued talking about legs, but cut the rest out. This is not a legs video, so let's talk about what's happening in the footage. All right, so on this split, it's a Dorian Yates copycat split. On chest days, you train biceps, which is a little odd to me, but I've been doing that. I told my buddy about it. He was like, "That's weird." I was like, "Well, you still hit them. You're still hitting them multiple times in the week, because you're getting them on your pull day, and then you're hitting them again on chest, and you train shoulders with triceps, and then chest with biceps." I already said that. And then you do back and rear delts. So your rear delts are getting hit in your pull day. Your biceps are getting hit in your pull day. And your biceps are also getting hit on your chest day. And I always hit a little bit of rear delts on my shoulder days. So those are all getting hit twice. Your triceps are getting hit, of course, with chest. It's working out, man. I like it. It works better for me currently, and I am getting stronger on this split. That is for sure. And it's not the stuff I'm taking, because I was taking much stronger and more of things before on the other split, and I was really not progressing like I should have been, which leads to, it makes you point the finger at the recovery. So I'm sure I could still recover from 5 days a week if I slept 8 hours a day, but I get about 2 to 3 hours of sleep 5 days out of the week, and it generally ends up being 7 days out of the week like that. But on the weekends, sometimes I can get a good 6 hours. So with the way I sleep, and listen, there is no changing it. It's just how my schedule is. There are kids involved. There is a job involved. It's just not,
I don't know what the fuck I was doing here. I think I was going to try to use that thing to curl, but it's like, no, this does not feel right on my wrist. But God, that neurodivergent attention span, man. What the fuck was I talking about? I have no idea. Oh, the recovery. If I could sleep 8 hours a night, one, I would be a lot fucking bigger than I am. Two, just all of my lifts would be better. You know, I heard Derek from More Plates, More Dates say this once, and it is so fucking true, because there's been a few occasions where I've gotten 8 hours or more and then went and hit the gym, and it was like he said it's like a PED in itself when you get a full 8 hours of sleep, when you go from not sleeping to getting a full 8 hours of sleep. Holy shit. I felt like a fucking superhero. I'm not even joking. And you know, I know how beneficial it is, and I know how important it is. But it's just one of those things that it's not possible with me right now. Like, and I'm not a nap person, and I don't have time to take naps. I'm not joking. Like, almost every second of my days is packed with something. So I don't have time to take naps. I don't know. Maybe when the kids are older, I can start getting some more sleep. So earlier, there's that clip where I'm talking about finding the signed Doyle CD at the record shop. Well, while I was there that day, we had noticed they had the Sam Hain and Danzig figures. There's a there's these little figures, and I've always wanted they just came out within the past, like, I don't know, year or so, but there's a covered in blood Danzig from the Sam Hain era that I wanted, and I got that. They also had a Misfits variant where he has, you know, his hair pulled into a devil lock, and he's wearing the skeleton outfit. And then there's the Danzig one, which is just basically the Sam Hain one without the blood. I don't really care that much about that one. But I did get the Sam Hain one. I also picked up some pins. I found a Jason pin and a Michael Myers pin. And added those to my new gym bag. My old one was a book bag that my wife got me, and the zipper broke on it because I think I just carry too much shit in. I've always got like 12 waters, like 4 energy drinks, all my masks, and fucking like 3 or 4 shirts, and all these wraps and straps and bullshit in there. And I carry it by the little loop that you would hang it up on something with. And eventually that just wore down the zipper and it broke. So now I found a laptop bag at the thrift store that I've been using, and it's really nice. But yeah, I got those pins, slapped that on there. Here I am rambling about nonsense again. I doubt anybody gives a shit about my my gym bag. Yeah, that's how my brain works. So you guys are just gonna have to, you know, deal with it. Oh, here, I know what I was talking about here. I was talking about how I would like to start doing more arm volume. I have been doing more arm volume than I was, because I told you there for a while my elbow joints were so fucked I ended up losing some arm size. I put some of it back on, I think, but my triceps in particular, I want to get back up a little bit more. But I don't know how much of that is my brain looking at pictures from like who knows when and who knows what compounds I was on. And or if I had a pump and had just trained triceps, like my brain has a real good way of forgetting, like, hey, you could be looking at your triceps on a day that you hit legs and you hadn't hit triceps in fucking 3 days, and comparing that to a picture where I just hit triceps for like an hour and a half straight like I used to. You know, I could be comparing a arm pump from when I had a dedicated arm day to you know what I'm saying, like the what you train that day is going to make a big difference. Or if you trained them the day before, they tend to look better the next day. But these are just little things I've noticed. Like, you know, you'll look great. Say you go hit shoulders, your shoulders will look great while you got a pump. But then you would think like, okay, that the rest of that day they're going to look pretty good. Tends to be the opposite. Once that pump goes away, because you broke them down, they seem to look kind of shitty. And then it seems like the next day you wake up and they've started to kind of heal and grow, and some of that, I think probably inflammation is catching up. They tend to look good the next day. And that seems to be for most body parts. Like here, my lats look better than they did in my back day reel yesterday. Even though my lats need a lot of work, as I've talked about, my back looks a lot better in this footage, and that's because I hit back yesterday. And I actually have footage from that too. I should have put that in this video, but it's going to end up being super long if I do that. It's already at 52 minutes again. Alright, I just put the reel that I had filmed, because I film my reels before I'm done. I kind of film them right in the middle where there's where I feel like I've gotten most of the pump I'm going to get, right? And then I'll go finish up with lighter stuff at the end. But I do want to talk about this again. I talked about it in one of my very early videos. But as you see here, everybody that's posting their physique online is utilizing lighting and having a pump and camera angles, right, to look the best that we can. And too many people compare themselves to what they see on Instagram in perfect conditions, and they feel like shit about themselves. And you've got to stop doing that. Those of you who watch me a while, you know I say this over and over and over. It's because I feel it's so important. You will give yourself body dysmorphia doing that. I did it to myself with my own pictures. I would compare myself in natural lighting to stuff like this and feel like shit. You cannot do that. This is a snapshot in time where I look my best. I have a pump. The lighting is hitting me just right. I stand right there because it does. You guys need to know that, and that's why I've said it probably 15 times. I'm not trying to be annoying, but way too many people feel like shit about themselves. It needs to stop.